At the beginning of this course, what like we did learn, we have learned how to create variables such as this one, where like we specify the data type and then we give the variable name and then we give the value. So if like you have noticed is that we had only when we have only have one value for all of these variables that like we have been doing since the beginning of this course. So now what like we want to do is that we want to create a variable, and then that variable we want to put many data in that same variable. So let us first comment out all this code that like we have up until here. So we have this multi-line comment. So now what like we are going to do is that we are going to have this variable, we're going to say int, and then we want int, and then we give the variable name, and then the variable name, it will be my scores. So we have this my scores, and then what like we do here, because we want many values, we put this here, and then we're going to say equal, and then we have curly brackets, and then we just put 45, we put 50, we put 35, we put 89. So great. So now we have a variable like this. So we have many values in this variable. Now what like we want to do is that we want to, for example, if we want to print this value here, what like we are going to do is that we are going to say print, and then we're going to say open brackets and close, and then we're going to specify, we're going to have a format specifier, and then we say this is an integer, so we put d, and then we say like this, and then now what like we're going to do is that we're going to say my score, going to say my scores, and then we're going to say we want the value, this one 35, which is on 0 1 2 position. So we start from 0 0 1 2, so we put 2 like this, and then we are going to say save, and then we say abort, and then we say build and run, and let us go. All right, we forgot to put this here, and then we save, and we say build and run. So there we go, we got the exactly 35 as we have expected. So now what like we do is that we want to change this value to be a different value. So what like we can do, we can let's just copy this. You say my scores, and then we say this one we want the value to be 90, and then we do this, and then if now we save this and we say abort, and then we build and run, we expecting to get 90 in that position. There we go. So we have 90 here. So the name of this variable, where like we have many values, it is called an array. So an array is a variable which contain many values, and those values, they can be accessed through indexing. So for example, the first one you can access through index 0, this one can be accessed through index 1, this one index 2, index 3. So another thing about arrays is that we can print them. We can print arrays using a for loop. So let's just copy the for loop that like we had here. All right, okay, let's just create a new for loop. We're going to say for loop, and then we're going to say sorry, we are going to open this curly brackets, and then we are going to have to initialize it. We're going to say int, I, and then here we are going to say I is equal to 0, and then we are going to say this 0 we are going to use to index the first value, and then we are going to say we want to run this loop as long as this I it is less than 4. So you can see here this one is 0, 1, 2, 3. So we are going to be able to run all of this. So we're going to say after each loop we want to say I plus plus, and then here we are going to say something like this, and then we want to print, copy this, we are going to print the values of this one. So to print them we are going to use I. So here, and then we want each and every one to be printed in a new line. So we're going to do this, and then we say save everything, and then now what like we are going to see is that when we run this, let's just comment this out. This is that when we run our file, we are going to have the list, or we are going to see all of this. So the first one, it will be 0, 0 like this, and then the loop runs again because I is still less than 4, and then we put 1, and then this one it will appear, and then 2, and then instead of this one it will be this one that will appear. So let's just see this in action, and then we say abort, and then we build and run. Let's just wait for it to complete. There we go. So we have 45, we have 50, we have 90, and we have 89. Great. So that's it for this video, where we have learned how to create an array, and then how to change a specific value in that array, and then how to loop the data for that array. So